Hey guys, so if you follow Anyma or Afterlife, that style of music, I'm sure you've heard this sound before. This is from Anyma Running, and I figured out a way to make this patch entirely in Serum with no other effects, external effects, so if you're in FL Studio or something, you can follow along with this. Okay, so if you like the sound and you want to get more sounds like this, it's a part of a preset pack that I've been working on for a while now called Bass Lab. It's almost finished and it should be out this week. Building it from the ground up, we start off with this Monster 4 wavetable, which is under Spectral. And then we load up this warping mode called Bend Plus, and you want to drag it all the way to the right. I've got it macroed here, so all I need to do is turn this all the way to the right here. You can see the macro is set to bring it all the way to the right. And I'm also modulating this wavetable position with an LFO, this one. So this is how it sounds. And this is the main character of the sound. That's like the tonal characteristics or the timbres coming from this wavetable. So what you want to do is map an LFO shape like this. It's kind of just a bit random. Trigger mode is off, and we've got it set to anchor. BPM mode's turned off, and the rate is 0.5. So when we map it now to wavetable position, we just get the slight movement. And along with bend, we get the tonal characteristics that we're looking for in the sound. Okay, then the next thing we do is we load up oscillator B, which is just a plain stock standard saw wave that comes with Serum. And that's going to give the sound a lot more sub, because it's just got a stronger fundamental in it. And there's nothing else that's being modulated with this. Only thing is the level's being turned down a bit. Okay, and then we've got the filter, which we turn on, and it sounds like this. It's the Moog Low 24 filter. You can find it under normal. And both A and B are being routed through it. And we've got this envelope 3 that is modulating the cutoff. So you just drag envelope 3 onto the cutoff. Okay, and these settings are really important. So we've got an attack of 8.6 milliseconds, and I found that this really, just pushing that attack up really made the sound feel a whole lot better. So if originally I had it down here, and if I just play this, the attack just wasn't quite right compared to the original. The original just felt like just a lot smoother and punchier at the same time, and I found just bringing that up, between like 7 and 9 is probably fine. You get this really nice like transient on the synth. And then the decay is at 269, and we've got a little bit of release, 123 milliseconds, because some of the notes are really short, so you don't want them to just cut off immediately. You want a little bit of a release tail. The synth is mono, so if you turn off mono, you risk getting tails overlapping, so make sure you have it on mono. One more thing, we've got this noise oscillator, and that is being modulated by this LFO, which is actually set to an envelope mode, and the rate is at 48.2 Hertz, so it's really super fast, and it's just bringing this level in basically on every single hit. And that, combined with the filter, gives you this super, super comfy transient. I love the sound of that. Okay, and then we go into the FX section, and we need to make the synth a whole lot wider. And for that, we use dimension. So if I just turn that on, we're not using this unison mode, so we've got the mix down to 0. The size is at 0%, so it's a really small dimension size, and it's just making the synth really wide. I'm going to mix it in, and you'll hear the effect. And I had that at 100% because the synth in the original is super wide. And then we distort the sound. So for this, I set the filter here to pre, and then just basically drag it up to there. Oops. And we've got it set to this high pass shape, and we basically what we're doing over here is we're taking out all the fundamental, the sub, everything below around 130 Hertz, and in doing that, we are really only distorting the high end, which gives a much nicer distortion. So if I turn this on now, you can see the mix knob turns up by itself to that point, and that's just because I've got it macroed here using this distortion macro. And so if you want to do it yourself, you can just turn that mix knob up to about that position. And it's on the rectify mode. So this distortion just kind of flattens out the sound a bit. It makes it less resonant and also gives it like a really nice harmonic at the top. Alright, and then next up is this delay. So the delay tails, if you listen to the original, it's like a really slow delay that just repeats every half a bar. So yeah, it's set to ping pong, and then using this filter, I made it kind of dark, so the filter's set to 270 Hertz and the Q at 2.2. And then both these are set to half, and we've got the ping pong mode over there. And the dry wet is set to this position. And then we got some, oops, didn't mean to do that. And then we got some reverb. So the reverb's a whole reverb with the size down to here. The decay is at 3.6 seconds, and I've taken out some low end. The high end I think is at default, but if not, you can just bring it to that position. And then I don't think I really touched the spin and spin depth. Okay, and then we also have an EQ, so we're EQing out a little bit of the mid-range here and taking out some of the highs, just to basically take out a bit of the brightness and clean up the mid-range a bit. Okay, so if you like the sounds of those, then be sure to check out the pack when it drops this week. Cool, thanks for watching the tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one.